Hi everyone. Hello. I hope all of you are doing well. My name is Shriya Bansal and I'm currently working as a software engineer at Microsoft and I'm also an educator at Level. So in this video, what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the next SQL functions which we have available, and we'll talk about scalar functions. Now, a scalar function basically also returns a single value from an input value, okay? And these are a few of the most frequently used SQL functions. So we have ucase, lcase, mid and round. Again, these functions are very verbose. So the name itself would actually define a lot about what these functions actually do. So let's get quickly started on this and see how we basically work. Okay, so let's take a quick demo. So whenever we talk about scalar functions, right? The first one that we have is u case. Okay, so what basically happens is this function basically converts the value or the string in a particular column to uppercase. Converts the string in a column to uppercase characters. Okay, so how does the syntax works is actually very similar to aggregate functions. So if you have not watched the video on aggregate functions now, I would recommend to watch it and then come over to this one. So let's say if I do select u case and then you mention the name of the column, which is name, okay, from the teachers table, and you can see all the names in the table which were in mixed uppercase and lowercase characters, right, are basically now all converted into uppercase. So right, say if you have a use case where you want the entire data to be in uppercase characters, you can basically use the ucase function available for that. Okay, now with this, the next one that we have is lcase, which I feel all of you would be able to know by so far what it actually does. Okay, so what happens in lcase, right? In lcase, what basically happens is we convert the string in a column to lowercase characters. Okay, and how does that basically work is very similar. Over here, which is this. Okay, now everything which was again initially mixed has now been converted into lowercase characters. Okay, then the third one that we have with this is mid. Okay, so what basically mid does is, if let's say you want a particular part of a string, right, you don't want the entire string, you just need a particular part of the string. So that's why we use mid for. So what does mid basically does it? It extracts, right, substrings from a column, okay, column values of string type in table. Okay, that's what mid basically does. So we have select, I'll tell you the syntax first. We have mid. First you mention the column name, okay, then you mention the start, from where exactly do you need the substring, and then you mention how many characters do you need, and then you mention the table name. Okay, let's take a look. So here we have select mid, column is let's say name 2 and 2. So I need the from second character and I need 2 length characters from teachers table. And you can see now in this, the second character is MA is given, JA is given, AH is given, and IJ is given. Okay, just to repeat what's happening over here, we are basically mentioning first the column name. So if I have name column and that value is Aman, so I need the start. So that means I'm starting, if the value is 2, that means I need to start from here. And how many characters do I need? 2. So MNA goes in the output. Okay, that's what it is. And the last one that we have with this is round. So round is more or less working on the, I would say, the integer values. Okay, it is basically used to round a numeric field to its nearest integer. Okay, so if in a column, although we don't have it in our data right now in the teachers table, but if let's say somehow the salary is 999067, okay, and you want it to be converted into this, so for that you basically use the round function over here. The way to use it is exactly the same how we have been doing. So you can say select, okay, round salary from the teachers table, and this will basically round off the salaries to the nearest integers. And that's literally it, what we have in the scalar functions. Okay, it's very easy to use, it's very effective as well, and it is used very frequently also over in SQL queries. Okay, so just to conclude on our topic, what we just discussed in this video and the previous 2 videos that we did, we talked about SQL functions, which is basically used to perform operations on the data. Now, these functions are useful because they help to perform a lot of mathematical calculations. They can be used for substrings, string concatenations, a lot variety of use cases. In both of the scenarios, we work on a group of values and the output is usually a single value over here, which gives us the output. Okay, in aggregate function, it's more evident because it's mostly for mathematical calculations. So as an output, you get a single value. In scalar functions, right, it may happen that you're using mid, so it is giving you a lot of output, like a single output for every column. You can think of it like that. Okay, so from a single input value, you will get a single output value, right? So it's like 1-to-1 mapping, right? Here, for a group of input values, you get a single value in the output. But when you're using scalar functions, for a single input value, you get a single output value. Okay. U case is when you want everything in uppercase. L case is when you want everything in lowercase. Mid is when you just basically want to get some part of a string starting from an index and a set of characters after it. And round is basically when you just want to round off the values to the nearest integer. Okay, that's what the overall purpose for all of these is, right? I hope this is clear to everyone and the overall idea for SQL functions is also clear. But the best way to learn and make sure the concept is within you is not by just watching the video and learning it. It's by actually taking a set of examples, trying out a few cases, trying out a few ways to do this, and then seeing if the overall solution works or not. Okay. So I hope this is useful and you've learned a good set of values in this as well. And I will definitely meet you in the next video where we will start our discussion in the final leg of this series, which will be about SQL joins. Okay, we'll talk about what SQL join is, why do we really use SQL joins, what's the entire use case, and where all do we really apply it. And trust me, SQL joins also form a very, very important part of our SQL queries and whatever language that we are using for writing queries and communicating our requests to the databases. So joins also are a very crucial for that. All right. So let's quickly get started on this topic in the very next video. Thank you.